Hey there, and welcome. So, if you're an associate project manager apprentice, maybe you're with Kent Business College, and that term K21 keeps popping up, and you're thinking, how on earth do I tackle project scheduling and actually prove it for my EPA? Well, you've come to the right place. We are going to crack this code together.
So, let me introduce you to Jody. She's an APM apprentice over at IBA Stores, and yeah, this is pretty much the thought that's running through her head. She's feeling that classic overwhelm. But don't worry, she's about to get the help she needs to turn this massive challenge into a skill that'll define her career.
We're going to follow Jody's journey, step by step, as her mentor, Adam, and her coach, Olivia, guide her through mastering this. We'll hit the theory, of course, but also the really practical stuff, like how to get the right evidence into your portfolio and even how to absolutely nail that final assessment question.
Okay, first things first, Jody's mentor, Adam, can see she's just getting bogged down in all the technical jargon. So he does something brilliant. He totally reframes it with a simple analogy. He says, Jody, stop thinking of your project as a long list of tasks. Start thinking of it as a road trip. And that project schedule, that's your map.
You see, a schedule isn't just a bunch of dates you hope you're going to hit. No way. Adam explains to Jody that it's a properly structured plan. It's all about putting your project's activities in the right order, figuring out how they're all connected, and making a real honest guess about how long each stop on your trip is going to take. It's what turns a vague idea of a destination into a clear, we can actually do this kind of journey. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because this slide shows you the stakes. Without a good schedule, you're basically just winging it, right? You're reacting to fires as they start, usually when it's too late. But with a solid schedule, oh, you're in the driver's seat. You can see risks coming up ahead, you can actually measure your progress, and you can make smart, informed decisions. It's literally the difference between driving in the dark with no headlights and having a top-of-the-line GPS. And then Adam gives Jody this piece of advice, and you can just see the relief on her face. He says, look, the point of K21 is not to make you a wizard in some complicated software. The goal is just to learn how to read the map. You just need to understand what that schedule is telling you about where your project is and where it's headed.
Okay, so if the schedule is our map, then the next logical question is, how do we find the fastest, most direct route to get where we're going? Well, my friends, this is where the critical path comes into play. Think of it as the main highway on your entire project map.
Adam breaks it down for Jody using that same road trip idea. Step 1, list out all your stops, every single activity. Step 2, figure out which stops absolutely have to happen in a specific order. I mean, you can't go to the theme park gift shop before you've even entered the park, right? Those are your dependencies. Then, after you estimate how long each activity will take, you can finally see it, the main highway, the critical path.
And here's the concept in a nutshell. The critical path is simply the longest chain of tasks that depend on each other. And the key thing, the absolute most important thing to get, is that tasks on this path have zero float or slack. That's the fancy project management term for, well, wiggle room. This means if one of those critical tasks is delayed by a single day, your entire project finish date gets pushed back by a day. Period. No exceptions.
So why does this all matter? Because knowing your critical path is like having a project management superpower. It tells you exactly which tasks you absolutely cannot let slip. It acts like a laser, focusing your attention and your manager's attention on the stuff that will make or break your deadline. It basically shows you exactly where the biggest risks are hiding.
All right, so Jody's getting it. The theory is clicking, the road trip idea makes perfect sense. But that big question is still hanging in the air. How in the world does she prove all this for her portfolio? For her, that portfolio is on a system called Aptum. So let's see how we go from an idea in your head to solid, concrete proof.
This really is the million-dollar question for every single apprentice out there. See, it's not enough to just know this stuff, you've got to show that you know it. And the key is to start consciously connecting the everyday things you're already doing at work directly to those K21 criteria.
So Jody's coach, Olivia, helps her put together this simple but seriously powerful checklist. Look how this works. That Gantt chart she updates every week? Boom, that's evidence for schedule maintenance. That quick email she sent to her manager, Riedel, warning her about a possible delay? That's perfect for communicating impact. All of a sudden, her normal daily work is turning into powerful evidence. And here is maybe the most important tip from Olivia. Don't just upload a file to Aptum and call it schedule. No, you need to tell a quick, clear story. Your evidence should have a simple 3-part narrative. Here was the plan, here's the change or problem I spotted, and here's the action I took because of it. That simple story right there is what demonstrates real competence.
And now for the final boss, the endpoint assessment, the EPA. Jody's got the knowledge, she's got her evidence lined up. Let's watch how she pulls it all together to confidently knock a typical EPA question out of the park.
Okay, this is a classic. You're almost guaranteed to get a question like this. It's designed to see if you can apply K21 in the real world. Now, to give an absolutely killer answer, Jody uses the STAR method. That's situation, task, action, and result. It's a fantastic, simple framework to structure your answer perfectly.
First up, S for situation. Jody just sets the scene, short and sweet. We were launching a new marketing campaign at IBA stores with a fixed launch date. Boom. Right away, the assessor knows the context, they know there's pressure, it's perfect.
Next, T for task. She explains her specific role. My task was to maintain the schedule and report on progress. This is great. It clearly shows her responsibility and her direct involvement in what happened next.
Now, act for action. This is the heart of the answer. And listen to those keywords. She didn't just see a delay. She saw a delay on a critical path activity. She didn't just tell someone, she updated the schedule to show the impact, and she highlighted the risks to her manager. That right there is a top-tier answer.
And finally, R for result. She closes the loop. Her action directly led to a positive result. It allowed her manager to take informed action. They got the project back on track, and they hit their goal. She just proved her value to that project in one clear sentence. It's a perfect answer. And this quote from her coach, Olivia, just sums the whole thing up beautifully, doesn't it? Once you understand why the schedule and the critical path are so important, you stop just being a task doer. You start thinking strategically. And that is what this whole Associate Project Manager apprenticeship is really about.
So we're going to leave you with a challenge. Take everything you just learned from Jody's journey and put it into action. Today, go look at your own project schedule. Find that main highway. What's the first critical path you're going to identify this week? Because trust me, the fastest way to master this is to just go out and do it.